Sidewalks in Barnstable Village will soon get an update. The town's Conservation Commission is considering a plan to combat fanwort in Lake Wequaquet, and a solar project at the airport nears completion. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Wednesday, April 30th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Pedestrians will soon have an easier time in Barnstable Village. The Conservation Commission approved a plan at its meeting this week that will update the village's sidewalks along Route 6A. Before the vote, Andrea Coates, an engineer with Mass DOT's Highway Division, described the project.
Last year, about this time, maybe a little earlier, we received a negative determination from your commission for sidewalk reconstruction along Route 6A in Barnstable. This project started at Hyannis Road, traveled east towards Commerce Road, to Commerce Road, and that's been completed. I'm here tonight to request a determination to continue that project from Commerce Road up to Bone Hill Road. In your packet, I've supplied you with a 12-sheet plan set. It's very straightforward. If you'd like, I could go over it, or I could just describe the project to you.
Why don't you give us a brief description
Okay.
of the areas that would most concern the commission?
Okay. This is sidewalk reconstruction, which would widen the sidewalk from its existing 4-foot wide condition to 5-foot wide condition. In addition to widening the sidewalk, you'll have wheelchair ramps and crosswalks at the vicinities of the side streets that are coming off Route 6A and across from the post office. There'll be a crosswalk and wheelchair ramps leading to the southern portion of the road. It's very straightforward. That's the project in a nutshell.
Precinct 1 Town Councilor Ann Kennedy also spoke out in support of the project, urging the Conservation Commission to approve the project.
This is a project that we've worked on extensively with the state over a couple of years now. There has been extensive public comment on a local level, and there's a lot of support. The state has been magnificent, has gone out to the site, has actually walked the site with me, and talking to individual abutters and looking at specific areas of concern. So I'm very confident with whatever they are presenting would be, something that is cognizant of all the conditions that are in the area.
Thank you.
Ultimately, the Conservation Commission voted unanimously to support the project. The town of Barnstable is considering using a sonar treatment in Wequaquet Lake to control invasive fanwort. Rob Gatewood, Conservation Administrator for the town, talked about the process.
In the notice of intent is attached the LICOT Environmental 2013 year-end report for fanwort control in Wequaquet Lake. And the situation in Bursa's Pond is that, try as we may to control it with suction harvesting, diver-assisted suction harvesting, there's a lot of biomass there, and we really haven't been effective. The recommendation of our consultant in 2013 was that we use the aquatic herbicide Sonar, which the Commission's familiar with from its use in Long Pond hydrilla control, that we use it in Bursa's Pond, as was done 6 years ago. That would leave our suction harvesting program still alive, but confined where it can be effective in Gooseberry Cove and in Wequaquet Lake at the Johnson Lane patch. What we'd like to do tonight is we've opened the hearing. That's about all that I want to say in terms of prefacing. I think we have one comment letter from the Division of Marine Fisheries, which we notified because of this is like the terminal part of the herring run, so it's actually a marine fisheries resource.
The Conservation Commission ultimately opted to continue the discussion at its meeting on May 13th, as they are still awaiting approval from the state's Natural Heritage Department. A solar project at Barnstable Municipal Airport should be complete by this summer. The Airport Commission approved the agreement between the town and the Cape and Vineyard Electric Cooperative at its meeting last night. Liz Argo, who works with CVEC, talked about the agreement and how the project will affect energy rates for the airport.
In the notice of intent is attached the LICOT Environmental 2013 year-end report for fanwort control in Wequaquet Lake. And the situation in Bursa's Pond is that, try as we may to control it with suction harvesting, diver-assisted suction harvesting, there's a lot of biomass there, and we really haven't been effective. The recommendation of our consultant in 2013 was that we use the aquatic herbicide Sonar, which the Commission's familiar with from its use in Long Pond hydrilla control, that we use it in Bursa's Pond as was done 6 years ago. That would leave our suction harvesting program still alive, but confined where it can be effective in Gooseberry Cove and in Wequaquet Lake at the Johnson Lane patch. What we'd like to do tonight is, we've opened the hearing. That's about all that I want to say in terms of prefacing. I think we have one comment letter from the Division of Marine Fisheries, which we notified because of this is like the terminal part of the herring run, so it's actually a marine fisheries resource. We'll hear from abutters to the project and interested parties. But there are two comment letters that are to be here before the 15th of May, and that is the Natural Heritage Endangered Species Program. And we know we have an endangered plant in Bursa's Pond, an emergent plant, not like fanwort that's immersed in the water, but an emergent pondshore plant that they're going to want to reconcile this project with. So we really have our ear to the ground on those for when they come. And Fisheries and Wildlife, the freshwater fisheries group, we notified as well. So we'd like to have any of their comments. They weren't concerned in the aftermath of our treatment 6 years ago, and so we don't expect them to take a resistant stance.
And the Commission voted in favor of that agreement. Airport Manager Bud Brialt expects the project to be completed by July 11th. Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will get a preview of this week's Town Council meeting with Town Council President Jessica Rapp-Grassetti. We'll also get a glimpse of the town's history with our new Barnstable Voices segment, and we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.